I want to propose to my boyfriend of 4 years, but before that happens, I want to give him a gift. I come from a fairly well-off family. Started out with my great-grandparents on my father's side, and the wealth has only exponentially grown since then. I won't deny that it's allowed me to enjoy life way more than the average person, but it's also given me its fair share of issues when it comes to forming relationships, romantic or otherwise, with people outside of my family's usual social circles. Sadly, a lot of people changed how they behaved around me when they found out about my finances. I've had friendships explode in drama when I wouldn't pay for lunches that I was invited to by someone else. I've had partners in the past pretty much become financial leeches who expected me to lavish them with gifts and/or money all the time. It's gotten really, really ugly at times, and if it weren't for the support of a few friends who remained steadfast throughout the years, I would have become a hermit. I know someone here is going to ask, why not date in your own social circles? And here's the answer. I've tried, and I've come across so many self-centered, egotistic, sociopathic people. It's completely turned me off from ever trying to date within the so-called upper class. They, not all of course, managed to be worse than the people who wanted to just get a free ride through life with my family's money, and that's saying something, isn't it? So when it comes to starting a romantic relationship, you can understand that I have some reasons to be wary about when I reveal how much money I have. Can't be too soon, but it can't be too late either. One time, I told a long-since ex-boyfriend 9 months into the relationship. He grew resentful of me that I had kept it hidden from him. I wasn't still that wary of people abusing my trust and affections, so I did a stupid thing and started to throw money at the problems that started popping up in our relationship. Didn't work naturally, and the whole thing ended in tears on my part. Another time, I told the guy 3 months in, and at first, things were good and well. But he started changing over the following months until I couldn't stand to be around him while he passive-aggressively kept on implying how much my money should be spent. I didn't even mind spending money when it was actually something for the two of us, but when your boyfriend starts bringing up how his PC is outdated or how his graphics card died, but how he didn't have enough cash for a new one, you get the gist of it. And it wasn't mentioned just once and then dropped. Oh no. He brought up stuff like that all the time. The worst part? I would have bought him a whole new PC, top of the line and everything, on my own, if he hadn't tried wheedling it out of me. The money means nothing to me, but the way that he behaved, how he tried to push me into buying him shit, I just couldn't do that. Sorry, I know. I babble like crazy when I'm nervous, and this is the case when I write too. Peter, that's my boyfriend's name, is different than all those people that I've dated in my life. I told him 6 months into the relationship. I didn't set a timeline for this. I didn't have some schedule to go by. I just went by heart. We met 4 years ago in a hobby workshop. Not exactly the place where I'd expect to meet someone that I'd date. Previous relationships gave me a cynic, to say the least, so I took 5 months of us being friendly with each other in the workshop before I admitted to myself that I wanted to have a go and try to have something more than pleasant conversations with Peter. Parents and siblings warned me, yet again, about dating below our status, but I stopped listening to that ages ago. Some people are just plain assholes, regardless of how much money they have. Peter is, well, he's amazing. I honestly can't think of another word to describe him. When I disclosed my financial status, he reacted pretty well to that and quickly figured out my reason for being so cautious about revealing it to him. We stayed in that night, made dinner together, and just, well, you know. If I ever had any doubts about our relationship, they are long gone now. Money issues, i.e., the usual stuff that happened in my other relationships, never popped up once. He never expected anything of me to pay for something that he wanted. He never expected or demanded anything ostentatious or expensive as gifts. For our first-year anniversary, I made him a wood carving of his favorite book's cover, and he loved it. We both share the belief that gifts like that are more significant than just buying up something random. Granted, he doesn't do wood carvings, but still, I treasure every one of his gifts. Bottom line is, it's a relationship of equals for all that there is a difference in our finances. I mean, I love him. I love Peter more than I thought I could love anyone, but the fact of the matter is that he works a regular job. He's not going to pull in 6 figures, and he's not interested in pursuing that. I'm fine with that. I got more than enough money for the both of us if there is ever a need of it. Even my parents and sisters like him. I know, they were just looking out for me. They didn't want to see me get hurt and used by someone again, so I don't hold their initial apprehensiveness against them. At one point, when they brought up prenups, I was terrified. I mean, springing this kind of thing back when we were only 2 years together? I'm surprised he didn't just excuse himself and leave, but no. He stayed there. He talked sensibly and reasonably with my folks and said that he could understand how a prenup made sense for someone like me and my family. We're at a point in our lives where I know I want to marry Peter. I want him to be my husband now and always. I want his babies. I want it all. But I also want to do something for him. Peter has a lot of passion for learning foreign languages. He has a real talent for it, I dare say. He loves nothing better than meeting folks from other countries and talking with them in their own language, if he knows it already, or asking questions about learning it if he doesn't. I want to state this clearly before someone gets any funny ideas about it. Peter has never, literally never, brought up the subject of going to a university or some kind of course or anything of the sort during our relationship. He has mentioned once, and this was back when we were still just friendly and he had no idea about my family's finances, that he'd like to have enrolled in a university when he was younger and then just immersed himself in learning a specific language. I feel like I should point out that Peter is self-taught. He's never gone to a language course in his life or studied it properly, and every single language that he does know how to talk in fluently, if at times clumsily, has been learned on his own in his own free time, either through what he could find on the internet or with various people that lived abroad that he corresponded and met throughout his life. Now, him going to a university has never happened because he never wanted to burden his parents with scholarship fees. And ultimately, he knew, this is in his own words just to be clear, that he wouldn't really be able to justify spending 4 years or more on studying something that couldn't help him with getting a better job in the future. It was a pipe dream for him. So, barring that one time more than 4 years back, he has never brought up the subject. I want to propose to him. I want to be his wife. I want Peter as my husband. I want to have the world know that he's mine and I'm his forever. But before doing that, I want to give him the chance to do something that he wanted to do when he was younger. I wanted to give him a choice, even if he ends up saying no to it. I just want to make him happy. Is any of this making sense? Am I just too full of myself? Am I oversharing? I know that postponing the wedding for 4 years seems a lot. I know. I know that studying is no easy thing, no matter how much talent Peter has. Studying is hard work and can be stressful, not to mention taxing on relationships. With all of this, I'm still willing to give him the chance to do something that he wanted to do all those years back. Am I insane for considering this? I'm here to ask you, anonymous internet strangers, because you don't know me, because you have no reason to pull punches and to tell me the truth, because I want the truth. I want to hear more opinions on this before I fully embark on this. I'm not saying that you're going to sway me one way or another, but I guess I just need to hear more voices on this that aren't my friends or family. Also, a question for the guys who see this thread. What do you think about a girl proposing to her boyfriend? If there are any among you with such an experience, please share. In the comments, there's a bunch of replies from OP, starting with, I don't know what kind of a guy Peter is. He's one of the most decent people I've met in my life. He's compassionate and kind. Him and his family never really gave much thought about how much money I have or not, and so long as we are happy, this difference never mattered to them. Him He makes me feel genuinely loved and cared for, and he makes me feel so alive too. When asked, is he sensitive about your money? OP says, sensitive about my money in what way? You mean, if I used to pay for something for the two of us? I'm not much of a spender, I'll admit as much, and when we went on a mountain trip last year, Peter insisted that we split the costs of the ticket and the stay, rather than just me pay for the whole of it. And even there, we shared expenses equally. To be honest, we never put much thought into it. It's not like either of us are big spenders. As to how he would react to me giving him this much money, and it is quite a lot, I'm not certain how he would react. It's not a small amount, not by any measure, but I could easily give it to him as a gift, and I think that with it being in the form of a gift, rather than giving him the money itself, he would take it more openly. Tralala says, I would consider proposing first. I would worry that offering to pay for college and then proposing comes off as, you would be a great husband if you just got a degree. Make sure he knows that you want him first, and then offer so he doesn't feel pressure to accept the college offer, if he doesn't want it, as a condition of the proposal. OP says, that's what I've planned. I know the chances of him thinking something like that are very minuscule, but I don't want him to have any doubts whatsoever. Whether he has a degree or not, it doesn't matter to me, and if he doesn't know that by now, then I'll tell him as much. A deleted commenter says, that sounds like a nice gift, but sending your boyfriend to school for 4 years might seem like it's going to change his lifestyle, etc. What happens after 4 years? Will he be fully relying on you? You won't know. OP says, fully relying on me for income? No. Why would he? He never expects anything of the sort. When it comes to money, that's one of the things that I love about him. Not to mention, he actually loves his job and gets paid an above-average paycheck for it. And I'd certainly never ask him to quit if he didn't want to. I think this is a beautiful plan, OP, and you're not crazy at all for wanting to propose to him. It's a hard ask, I know, and you've been through a lot of misfortune in your dating life, but yeah, finding someone that values you over the money is incredible. So this is just your way of showing love through something meaningful to him. And yeah, if I were in your shoes, I'd propose first so that he knows that the offer isn't conditional on him changing anything about his life. And then afterwards, later on, then you say you'd love to give him the opportunity to study if he wants it. No pressure at all, and that you're happy to pay for it entirely. Because from the sounds of it, he sounds like the kind of man who will genuinely appreciate the thought of you doing this more than the actual money itself. You guys seem very sentimental, so I highly doubt that this would be a problem at all, and that, he would take this for granted. I think you're doing everything right so far, and I think you're thinking this through carefully, which is great. And now, on to the update. I went ahead and did it. On Monday evening, it was just the two of us at my place, pretty much like any other night when he slept over, except when I accidentally had my phone slip from my hand and got off the couch to get it so that I could get on one knee and propose to Peter. It's creative. It's definitely creative. He was at a loss for words, and then he started laughing. And then he left the room for a second while I was looking confused, still on one knee with the ring in my hand. When he came back, he got down on the floor with me and asked me the same thing with a ring in his hand. I don't doubt that we looked very silly when we both started laughing. Then we tried to put the rings on each other's fingers at the same time, which led to some more silly shit, but all in all, it was great. Apparently, he'd been carrying the ring with him for the past 5 months. He wanted to originally propose for New Year's Eve, but didn't manage to get the ring in time, so he waited for another shot at it. The rest of the evening went perfect. And yeah, we had to throw the food out that was left on the table in the morning, but hey, the night before was totally worth it. Oh, you salacious little harlequins, you. Why was the food left on the table in the morning? What could you two have possibly been doing? I waited until Wednesday so we could both get out the news to our families and friends that we were now officially engaged to be married. before I hit him up with my gift. We talked a lot about it, and eventually he asked me for a few days to process it, as it was a fairly big deal to answer in the moment. I made sure that he knew that I didn't give a damn about whether he got the degree or not, and if he wanted, I could give him a full language course as an alternative gift, or even for us to travel and stay abroad for several months so that he could immerse himself in another language completely. We were spending the night over at his place yesterday, and he gave me his answer regarding the gift. While he was really appreciative of the lengths that I'd go to help him fulfill one of his dreams from youth, he said that ultimately it was just something of a passing fancy back then, and even now, with all the expenses paid for, he didn't really want it or need it. One of the primary reasons why he didn't want to go and officially study at a university is that he thought that that would probably prove taxing on our relationship, and he didn't want that. Studying another language is all neat and good, but not at the expense of life that we have built together or the life that we would have in the future. The language course idea was also neat, he said, but in the end, he thinks it would be more enjoyable for the both of us if we took that extended trip abroad. That said, I don't think we'll be doing all that much for learning the language. Mind you, won't bother me none. So that's it then, folks. No 4 years of studying, no delays on the wedding, and come this winter, Peter will be my husband and I will be his wife. God. My head's still up in the clouds, and there's a part of me that can't really believe that this is happening. I've never been more happy. To all the gals and fellas from the previous thread, again, my thanks. In the comments, Fem0879 says, "This is a romantic movie in real life. I was giggling when he came out with his ring. I love this. This is the best proposal story I've ever heard. As a hopeless romantic that has been through some tough times, this made me tear up a bit. I hope you two have a long and happy marriage." Now this is what I like to see. You were brave and supportive, and I'm happy to see that you're about to start a life together with someone who is crazy about you. What a fantastic update. I think this is what many of us subscribe, comment, and post for, so thank you. Thank you, OP. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Seems like you two just get each other. And I love that he was already planning to propose. Sucks that the ring wasn't there by New Year's, but this was funny. This is a good story. I'm sure you're going to share it a million times over with everyone that asks. It kind of just is like a testament to how aligned you two are. But yeah, apart from that, the way that he turned down your offer with also gratitude and maturity, what more could you want in a man? You know, that's your perfect man by the looks of it. But yeah, that trip abroad, that sounds way more special. I love that. It's something that you two can share together instead of something that you're just funding. I think you guys are a great match. I hope you have a wonderful and happy future ahead. Thank you for the story, and thank you for the update. Our next post is by user Nami, titled, "The Gym Couple That Made Me Question What For Better or Worse Even Means." So, there's this couple at my gym who treat the treadmill area like their own honeymoon suite. Every morning, while the rest of us are just trying to survive cardio, they're over there cuddling between sets and giggling like it's a date night. Now, I wouldn't care, except last week, I found out they are both married. But not to each other. Her husband works out of town, and his wife doesn't like gyms. They're basically running a secret love story between dumbbells and protein shakes. At this point, I don't even need a workout playlist. The drama fuels me. Every time they high-five after a set, I'm like, what does wedding vow fidelity even mean to these people? If marriage had a cheat day, these two took the whole week off. In the comments, Sally Fifth says, "Well, the first half had me smiling." And OP says, "It seems like a perfect love story." See, my problem is, I would start getting proof for both spouses and anonymously send it, because nobody deserves that. OP says, smart move to think of, but there are CCTVs everywhere in the gym. OP, you have to out them. You have to out them. Be the whistleblower, please God. Do something to let one of the partners know or both of the partners know. It's your job. Please, God, do it. It'll be so funny. I need to know what happens. Please, please, please. And now, on to the update. Now, the guy's actual wife showed up for real then. Yes, although she didn't yell or make a scene, she just stood by the door, arms crossed, while they were mid-cuddle. The silence in that gym could have powered the treadmills. He froze. The other woman grabbed her bag and bolted faster than I've ever seen anyone sprint before. So now finally, neither of them come anymore, and the gym feels weirdly quiet. I missed the free soap opera, but hey, at least I can finally focus on my squats. In the comments, this is the update we didn't know we'd needed. I worked at a huge gym in college, which catered to all ages. I remember a handful of people exactly like this. They get caught eventually. Never worth it. Done. We'll never know how this ends. Does she keep the cheater? Divorce? Revenge? I want to know. And OP says, not sure if it's a divorce or not. I do follow that lady on social media, and all of her posts have been deleted since then. Gotta love a low-stakes story like this. I love that the wife just stood there. That's even more unsettling than if she came in screaming and throwing hands. I wonder what was harder to cancel, the marriage contract or the gym membership contract. I've worked at many gyms. I used to work at a bougie country club style gym that was absolutely massive. I'm talking 40 tennis courts and holds international sporting events. There were so many affairs, which was crazy because we offered family memberships, so there were mostly definitely spouses and kids around to catch them. Busted many on my 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift, especially late. Lots of little places to sneak away. Having an affair is one of those things that's seen as classy when you're rich, but unethical if you're poor. Boinking the neighbor in your trailer while your husband is away building houses? Terrible human betraying your hard-working husband like that. Boinking the maid in your pool house while your wife is away making a big business deal? Ah well, no biggie. As long as the maid isn't a threat to the status of your wife, she's probably out boinking the mailroom attendant too. Anyway guys, that's where I'm going to end today's episode. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.